Okay, next stage of the Hasegawa Prowler. The wings are attached using various super glues. The resin Wolfpack wings. They didn't fit brilliantly. There were quite a few seams that needed to be dealt with, but they've been dealt with now. Filling in, gap filling with some various super glues, and they're now almost completely perfect seams. Probably needs a little bit more work, but just along the top there and on the other side. But it's probably about 95% of the way there. So one of the next things to just think about as a side little project, before I go back to actually putting in some final details in the undercarriage bays now that the wings are on, and then starting to work on the main gear legs, which need some mechanical adjustment and then detailing, was the inboard pylons. The outer pylons come as resin parts with the wings, but the inner pylons are supposed to be used from the ones from the kit. The kit inner wing pylons aren't particularly good. They're quite simple, fairly crude, and not quite the right shape. So I decided to have a look at the pylons in the new Trumpeter Intruder kit, because the wings are almost identical. In fact, they should be pretty identical with a Prowler. With an A6A, the A6E should be different, of course, but they're not. But the pylons are the same. So I've used a Trumpeter pylon. I've adapted it to fit the locating holes in this wing. It's just blue tacked in at the moment, so I made new pins to attach the pylon to the wing in the correct place. That's all done. And then, because I'm doing a Gulf War aircraft, because this aircraft in particular had several kill markings, I suppose you could actually say that, for radar targets that it taken out during the early stages of the Gulf War. They used to carry a single harm missile on the inboard pylon, sometimes instead of one of the fuel tanks. So for this, I was thinking, is there a possibility of actually being able to swap it around? For the kit, I went to support one of our friendly Ukrainian companies, ResKits, who do some splendid resin aftermarket items, and this was one of their products. This is just the slipper or the mount for the AGM 88 Harpoon. It's not the Harpoon, is it? Harm missile, which would sit on the inboard pylon. I haven't made the missile yet because that's got to have the fins and everything attached. But I just removed the slipper unit from the 3D print cages, which is wonderfully packaged, and just to kind of try to do a trial fit, and that will just kind of plug on just nice and neatly, using the mounts on the pylon quite neatly. Nice interference fit, well, not an interference fit, but a tight enough fit so that that will stay there even with the missile in place. Once there's some paint on there, that will be fine. But should I wish to change, I thought, well, is there a way of doing that? Here's the pylon from the Trumpeter kit, and with a pair of very small magnets, because it's slightly heavier, we could actually just have the fuel tanks fitted instead. So I think on this side, the starboard side, which is the side they usually carry the missile, I'll go for this option of being able to swap them over. I'll probably just do the fuel tank on the other side, but adapt it so that it could, in theory, carry the harm missile on the starboard side. So there we go. The project continues.